many of those stories are planted when we're very young. Maybe somebody somewhere said, you're not good enough, or you're not very smart, or you're too this, or you're too that. And no matter how many degrees we have on the wall, or how many, positions we've risen up into the ranks, those stories can stay with us in the subconscious, but also sometimes just out of our own mouth. Where if we do something, maybe we take the wrong turn on the road and we say, "Oh, I'm so stupid." Right? Or why did I do that? Or how do I get mixed up with these people if it's a relationship thing? So we tend to doubt ourselves. And a lot of times it's not based on any truth. It's just based on a story. And so I'll tell you the amount of clients that come to me that are suffering from imposter syndrome. Some people know it right away and they'll raise their hand and they'll say, this is my issue. And then others, they don't state it, but I can see it. And you can sometimes smell it, see it, sense it. So we'll always tackle that first.
All right, guys. Welcome to the Winner Circle, the podcast you need to get started in the business world. So I'm your host, Adewole, and today I have an incredible person here. And also we have an incredible episode lined up for you. It's all about transforming self-doubt into powerful confidence. So the question I'm going to ask is, have you ever felt like an imposter in your own life or even career, questioning your abilities and fearing you don't belong? If so, I must be honest with you, you're not alone. Imposter syndrome affects many of us, especially if you're an entrepreneur or even an everyday person that you're in the leadership role. So to help us conquer these feelings and unlock our true potential, I'm thrilled to have the amazing Christine Blosdale with us today. Christine, she's a 5-time #1 best-selling author, a business coach extraordinaire, known for her vibrant personality and deep expertise. With over 25 years of experience with industry giants like American Online, the Microsoft Network, and Women's Day magazine, she brings a unique blend of humor and insight to the table. And I've been smiling all through, at the backstage. So, Christian's mission is to empower you to rise as an expert authority in your field. From our powerful book to a dynamic coaching style, she has helped transform countless of entrepreneurs into influential leaders and business superstars. So get ready for an inspiring conversation packed with practical strategies to boost your confidence, clarify your business goals, and elevate your presence in the marketplace. So trust me, by the end of this episode, I can guarantee you will be equipped to turn your self-doubt into unshakable confidence and cash flowing clarity. So without further ado, let's dive into this enlightening discussion with the phenomenal Christine Blosdale. How are you doing today?
Wow. Wow, Jay. I'm not planning on going anytime soon, but I'll have you write my obituary when I do because it was beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Man, you've been great. Thank you. Good to have you on the show. So let's kick things out and let's get started as soon as possible. So let's talk about imposter syndrome. We all know it can be a roadblock for most people. Can you share a bit about your own experience? Have you ever experienced that?
Oh yes, I think we all have at some point in
Of
life,
course we do.
and I think it starts maybe even when we're really young and we're asked to do something, and we go like, I don't know if I can do this because I've never done it before, and then we have those stories that are in our head. And many of those stories are planted when we're very young. Maybe somebody somewhere said, you're not good enough, or you're not very smart, or you're too this, or you're too that. And no matter how many degrees we have on the wall, or how many, positions we've risen up into the ranks, those stories can stay with us in the subconscious, but also sometimes just out of our own mouth. Where if we do something, maybe we take the wrong turn on the road and we say, "Oh, I'm so stupid." right? Or why did I do that? Or how do I get mixed up with these people if it's a relationship thing? So we tend to doubt ourselves. And a lot of times it's not based on any truth, it's just based on a story. And so I'll tell you the amount of clients that come to me that are suffering from imposter syndrome. Some people know it right away and they'll raise their hand and they'll say, "This is my issue." And then others, they don't state it, but I can see it, and you can sometimes smell it, see it, sense it. So we'll always tackle that first. And my own imposter syndrome, like I said, it's different times of my life. I remember working at a very popular radio station in Los Angeles, and I was a behind the scenes person. I was doing producing, and I was producing the show and setting up the whole concept for the episode of the show, contacting the guests, writing the copy, and one time I had to step in and actually host the show. And I was like, no, I'm not qualified for that. I'm just behind the scenes. I'm not the talent. I'm the producer. And it was a moment where the program director said, you have to, because we don't have anybody else to step in, and it's going to be drive time. People are going to be tuning onto the radio, and we need to have a show. And so I reluctantly went in the studio and put on the headphones and sat in front of the microphone and very nervous because I was doubting myself, and I had it all within me. I had years and years of doing interviews for America Online and Microsoft, or MSN at the time. I had all of this experience, but those little stories were coming up to me because it was something that was different for me. And I was thrown off I was thrown out of balance. And then as soon as that on air light came on, it was like magic, Jay. I just was like taken to another world, and I absolutely loved it. I loved it. And it's a feeling that's unlike anything else. And then that's how I started my radio career. 20 years.
Wow, that's a long road. That's a long time ago. 20 years.
Yeah.
Is it 25 years or 20 years?
20 years. I was 20 years at the radio station. And 5 years prior to that, I was working with AOL and Microsoft.
Oh. So now let's talk about imposter syndrome, especially when it comes to entrepreneurs. A lot of people really don't even know the word termed imposter syndrome. They just know that sometimes they just feel like they are not meant to be where they are. If I'm going to ask, what are some common signs you've noticed in your clients? Why do you think so many entrepreneurs, most times, face this exact issue?
It's an internal conflict. So a lot of times they have the passion, or the initial passion, to start their own business. To maybe they're working for a company, but they really want to start their own home business or entrepreneurial endeavor. So they start with the passion. But the imposter syndrome happens when we start to, from a number of different things. Sometimes we compare ourselves to others, especially with social media. We see, well, those people, they look so much younger and fitter, and they look wealthier and whatever. We compare ourselves to those. And so that's something that can hold people back. A lot of my clients are women who are starting their own business, and society and the social stigmas and stereotypes and expectations that we have of women, of what they should look like, where they should be, where their attention should be, all of that. Those things weigh on them. I've got clients that are from all different cultures, and those community and socioeconomic expectations of them a lot of times will keep them down, and they'll feel less than. Who am I? The big questions they'll say, who am I to speak to this group? Who am I to give advice on business or how to stay fit? Who am I to be anything to anybody? Which is really sad when you think about it, because it's the thing is, like, if we have children, we never want to hear our children say that, right? But we say it ourselves. Or we'll say it to we'll be friends talking to each other, and we'll go, yeah, but who am I to, those type of things. And the best way to overcome that, at least from my standpoint when I'm working with people, Jay, it's the the thing of saying to that person, it's not about you. And usually the brakes, you could hear the brakes, you could hear the screeching, and people saying, "What? What do you mean it's not about me? It is about me. It's my business. I want to start this business. I want to start this brand, and it is about me." And I say, "No, it's not. You need to focus instead of focusing on you and how you look or how people will think of you, what the neighbors are going to think, how you'll be judged. Think about the people that you're supposed to serve or that you say you want to serve. If you say you want to be this type of a coach to help other people expand their business or create better social media or to lose the 10 pounds or whatever niche you're in, if it's about serving them, you need to focus your attention on them and not on what you look like or what you're wearing or where you've come from. It's about them. And when you do that, when you're able to shift the focus, it's amazing what can happen. But people are so locked into how they're going to be perceived and judged, right? That it stops them from actually going after their dreams. It stops them from becoming successful and putting themselves out there and marketing their business because they're so worried about that judgment. And so we need to focus on the others and those people that we're serving, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. Because just like you said, you need to focus. There need to be a mindset shift, which is a great thing because a lot of people get stuck in that situation. And it's really hard to get out of that situation because you can get stuck forever and you're not going to do anything because you feel like I'm stuck. I'm nobody. I'm just pretending to be this or that. You made a very valid point, but I want to ask a follow-up question in regards to that. What step would you recommend that they need to take? The first step to the second to the last step. I would love you to elaborate on that. The steps they need to, if somebody is feeling stuck right now, maybe they listen to this right now and they're like, you know what, I feel like I don't believe in myself. Or probably they believe in themselves at some point, but maybe one or two failures happen in business and they start doubting themselves. Are you sure I'm even knowledgeable in this field at all? So what step would you advise them? How can you help them navigate as we speak?
Yeah, there's a couple things that they can do. Number one, sort of going back to that idea of thinking about and focusing on the people that you want to serve. You know, I've had clients who have suffered really bad imposter syndrome, and to the point where it was keeping them from showing up on their social media, you know, marketing themselves in any way on social media, no videos, just, you know, just text, images and text. And you can't convey much just with written word. You do need to, in today's world, video is everything. So you need to get yourself out there. And so what I was trying to reiterate with them is that by keeping yourself away from people because of that judgment that you have, not only are you not thinking about the people that you're serving, but they're waiting for you to show up. They're waiting for you, but you're not showing up. You're locked in your basement or you're, you know, behind the doors thinking that somebody is going to come and knock on your door and say, "Oh, I've been looking for you everywhere." No, you need to show up for them. And that is such a waste. So many amazing dreams have been crushed because of imposter syndrome and because people are too afraid to show up because of that judgment. Or what if someone says no? But what if somebody says yes? And they won't say yes unless you show up. Okay. So that's number one. That's the most important thing. The other thing is because sometimes we are so hypercritical of ourselves, we need an outsider. We need someone who is outside of our world to peek in, to look in, and to see all of the amazing things that we've done and to take stock of that. I liken it to finding the jewels that you have that we can put in your crown, right? Because once we can find those jewels and put them in your crown, and then you can wear that crown proudly and say, "I've done this. I've accomplished these things." It doesn't make you arrogant. It makes you step into your expert authority, but it's saying to people, "I have follow through. I can be successful, and I know what it takes to go from this place to this place. So you're going to have more people that are going to trust you with their money, with their time, with their energy. And it's it's sort of like a cyclical system. It helps you feel better. It helps them feel better about working with you. It's the, kumbaya circle of life, so to speak. But those are the two major things. And you need somebody from the outside, a mentor or a coach who's a specialist in your field, who can take a look and see all those great things. We live in a silo. A lot of times, solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, we live in a world where there's blinders on, and we only see what's in front of us, and we don't see all of the other amazing things that we've done. It might be something that you think, that little thing I did, that's nothing big, that's nothing important. But from my perspective as an expert authority coach, I can look at it and I can go, are you kidding me? This is marketable, this is relatable, and this is building your authenticity. We need to let people know about it. You want to be relatable. You want to know that people can connect with you, right? That's the first step.
Honestly, for me, it's a very fantastic starting point because it's very amazing how these small steps or these first steps can lead to a bigger shift in mindset. So definitely, as an entrepreneur, taking that particular practical step, because you're taking the first step, which is, practical, then you take the second step. Then before you know it, you're a great person. That's how greatness comes. And that's how you achieve all the things you need to achieve. As a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as an individual, you need to take that step. Do not hide under the shadows. Just like Christine said, she talked about, a lot of entrepreneurs trying to hide, not entrepreneurs, like a lot of people, because of that self-doubt. They start hiding and, they really don't want to speak out. They really don't want to be seen because they feel like they're not good enough. Oh man, I'm not in a Lamborghini when I'm doing my videos. So I don't think, because right now you see all the coaches online, they come in a Lamborghini and say, you know what? 10 years ago, I started this business. Now I have a Lamborghini, I have 200 helicopters. Sometimes these things are not even real. But don't
No, they
doubt
rent
yourself.
them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't doubt yourself. Don't let somebody make you feel that bad. So moving forward, one thing I noticed about your approach is, I love that humor is part of your coaching style.
I mean, there's so much going on in the world that is not lighthearted. And you think about all of the pressures that we have as human beings. And I just think that life is too short to go through, your personal life and your business life in a very serious manner. We all need that bit of levity and lightness. But it's really about being authentic, because the more authentic you can be as a society, Jay, we're staying away from this whole idea of perfection. You see it everywhere. Hollywood is crumbling. The music industry is crumbling. Even big religion, organizations, it's all crumbling because this idea of being perfect is unattainable. And most people see that those worlds where everything is quote unquote perfect, it's miserable. It's a cesspool. Nobody wants to be in it. And so as we see that, human beings, society, we're craving authenticity. We just want somebody that's real. If you're not with your significant other or spouse, you want to find somebody that you can be yourself with. Not that you have to fake and be perfect and, oh yes, I only eat a carrot for dinner. If you're somebody who's trying to look all smelts, right? Or pretend that you've got all this money in the bank so you can woo somebody. That's gone. That's just gone. We want somebody that we can actually be ourselves with. And yes, we can dress up and feel really good and snazzy with, but also somebody that we can be sick around and we don't look so great, or maybe we snore and they don't hate us for it. We want to be with somebody who's authentic. And it's the same thing with businesses. It's the same thing with coaches. we want to have somebody, I want to have a coach. I have several coaches, and I want to have a coach that is authentic and real with me, because they're going to be honest with me as well. And they're going to not fluff things over. They're just going to say, this is how it is. This is what you need to do. And then you can grow. And that's what we're all here for, I hope, is to grow, right?
Grow. Your perspective is very refreshing. I love that perspective that sometimes the word make us wanna, the word they say, fake it till you make it. You know, a lot of people fake a lot.
Yeah.
So, but the truth is, we need to be authentic, even as as a business owner. A lot of businesses want to come out big, and they actually they are not as big as they claim to be. Business.
It's,
So
yes,
now, yes,
it's honesty. It's
no
called being
honesty,
honest. Yes. I
honesty.
think that's being rewarded more now.
Yeah.
I sent out a big email blast yesterday, and in
Hmm.
my email blast, one of the links, or the main link that I was sending people to, wasn't working. Wasn't working properly. And so thankfully somebody wrote me and said, "Hey, I would really like to take you up on this offer, but I can't click the thing. I can't click the link." And so I went, "Oh my gosh." So you know what? I sent out another email blast to everybody, and I said, "Oops." I said, I'm so sorry. I made a mistake, but here's the correct link for those of you who do want to book in." And you know what? I got better response on it than the original email, because people are like, "Thank you for saying that. Thank you for addressing that. And thank you for correcting it." Now, I could have pretended like it was all great, but then I wouldn't have gotten the great open rate that I did on that second email saying, "Oopsie."
Hello, listeners. I want to take a quick moment to share an incredible opportunity for anyone looking to take their businesses to the next level. So, if you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed by the challenges of running a business, most businesses need help right now to navigate out of all this mess, all this hula baloo. So, I'm going to recommend you to check out Point of View Consulting. They are based in New York City, and they specialize in offering expert guidance tailored specifically to your needs. One of the things I like about them is their team. They have a lot of team members, and they're dedicated to helping businesses of all sizes, whether you're small, whether you're medium, whether you're large. They will help you identify your strength and weakness. They will also develop effective strategies. For my listeners, or for the listeners of the Winner Circle podcast, you can get 30% off your first consultation by using the code Winner Circle Podcast when you sign up. So whether you're a startup or you're an established company, Point of View Consulting, they offer personalized services that can help you align your objective with practical solutions. So if you're ready to unlock your business potential, you need to visit www.pointofviewconsultingimc.com and use the code Winner Circle Podcast for your special discount. So don't miss out on this chance to work with the industry expert who can provide the support you need to strive. So I'm just going to say it again. Go to www.pointofviewconsultingimc.com. When you get there, use the code Winner Circle Podcast. When you contact them, tell them Jay from Winner Circle Podcast sent you, and use the code Winner Circle Podcast for 30% off your first consultation. So take this step towards a success today. All right, see you next time.
Right?
You've several best-selling books that are, so full of a lot of resources. How do you see this supporting someone on their journey towards building self-confidence?
Every book that I've written, I think, addresses that issue
Yes.
in some way, right? Because I know what it's like. I know I've worked with so many people that they have so much experience and stories to tell and wisdom to share, and yet there's something that's holding them back, and so much of that is it's under the umbrella of imposter syndrome. But a lot of times it's someone saying, I'm too old to start this journey, or to do this or that, or it's going to be too hard technology wise. It's too hard. It's going to be too complicated. I can't do it. And my thing is always to break down those myths, because we're telling ourselves that it's too hard. We're telling ourselves that we're too old to do this or that or the other. And it's absolutely nonsense because,
Mm.
I've spoken to you before about the subject matter is that technology is always changing and they're making it easier, faster, quicker, cheaper, sometimes free for you to have tools to communicate with the world your message. It's every single day I'm blown away by what people have created. And it makes my life as a coach much easier, but it makes also my clients' lives much easier. They just need to know about it, that it exists. So when it comes to, like books, the last book, this is the last book that I did on social media and branding. And the thing that I wanted to offer to people there in this book was tips and strategies to have them show up in social media to promote their brand and their business, but to do it in a simple, easy, and fun way. Is there a more complicated techo way to do it that's very costly? Yes, but my client base, my market, my target audience, they're starting up or they don't have tens of thousands of dollars for marketing. They need to do it from a level of being creative and expressing themselves and getting the word out. And so we start from that level. And they always start with getting out of your own way so that you can come through and be there for the people that need you. Those customers and those clients that really need your service, they just don't know you exist.
Thank you for that beautiful information. Your books are very, very powerful. For the listeners, you need to grab one of those. I know you have a lot of experience. We just spoke about tech right now, and I know you have experience in media. So how have you seen the entrepreneur landscape change towards authority building in the past
Mm,
years?
it's changed a lot. It's evolving constantly. But I mean, 5 or 10 years ago, you would never think about self-publishing your own book and having it on
Mm,
Amazon and having it be a
mm,
bestseller unless you went through a publisher and you went through the whole mega
mm,
publishing process and you signed away all your rights and royalties and all of that. And also I mean, you know you were not able to advertise or market your business unless you paid for a radio or television ad.
mm,
And that was very expensive. Seconds on any platform like radio or especially television would be prohibitively expensive. You could never get it out. And now we're
mm,
living in a creator economy. We're finally in a place where creatives, business owners who are just unique enough to get the word out. We've got platforms like TikTok where people are making bank just doing videos, cooking dinner for their kids. And they've just got a sassy little attitude, right? Or there's these business owners that are showing you how they do their craft, right? Painters who are showing you how they paint, and then they're selling all their paintings worldwide. I mean, it's changed and we can use these platforms to market our business unlike any time. And it's many of these things are free. It's free to have a YouTube channel, Jay. It's free.
free.
It's
Mm-hmm.
free for you to create short videos or reels or TikToks. It's free. It's crazy. So that said, there's a lot of stuff out there. So in order to cut through it all, people say, well, how do I stand out? And with all this stuff going on, consistency and don't fake it till you make it. In other words, don't pretend to be somebody that you're not. Be yourself. But consistency is very important. You can't just do one thing and be done with it. You can't just write a book and publish it and think it's going to market itself. You have to spend the time, to get the word out on it. But there's so many amazing things that we can do right now. It's opened up. The world has opened up to us.
The world is open also to us. That's a great point. So now, if I'm gonna say, for entrepreneurs looking, we have a very crowded market, and you already made your point. You have to find a way to get seen one way or the other. And I also find that you focus on empowering entrepreneurs. Everything I've checked about you, you try as much as possible to empower entrepreneurs. Either they come in on your show, give them the right advice. So, but what's your message when it comes to building confidence and authority in business. What's that one message you give to entrepreneurs?
I don't know if there's one message, but there's the overlying
I'll
thing.
I'll call it the message. The message.
Yes, and I'll give them what my I was very lucky when I was young that my mother and my grandmother, they were really the ones who raised me. And they were the ones who always told me, "You are so amazing, Christine. You can do anything." And this is something that, especially for those of you who are listening in America, you are familiar with that American spirit of you can do anything. Now, can I fly like a bird in the sky or Superman? No, I can't do that. But can I go after my dreams? Can I at least take action on those things and give it a go? Yes. Can I get the support of people that are like-minded that can support me in a healthy, happy way? Can I work and network with people? Can I meet new folks like Jay and say, "Welcome to my family"? Can I also share my resources with people like Jay? Can I say, "Hey, my client, they need this. I can't supply that, but I know that Jay can. So let me help Jay out." We're entering a whole new paradigm right now. The idea of greed is good and you know, sticking it to the person and getting away with stuff, that's gone. Karma is way too fast. Right? It's not about that anymore. It's about collaborating with others. It's about taking our brains and instead of being off by ourselves and just getting everything we can for ourselves, it's about sharing with others in our world, in our sphere, in our community. And I think that that's really important. Focus on those things, and it's magical what will happen. It is.
All right. Thank you so much. So it's very, very important for business owners, entrepreneurs, or leaders, or whoever's listening to this show. Remember one word: focus, focus, focus. Because when you lose focus, you lose everything you need to move forward. So now talking
Yeah.
about focus. All right. So what's one thing that you entrepreneurs do that make them lose focus or make that brings them to that point of self-doubt? So
Yes.
what's one thing that you see entrepreneurs do, or it might not be one, it might be more than that, that actually bring them to losing self-confidence?
I call it throwing spaghetti at the wall,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
What they'll do is they'll throw it on the wall and they'll go, "I'll try this. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try this." And they become spread out. And because it's the same thing about shelf help, right? I've signed up for this course, I'm taking this, I'm getting training in this and that and the other, and this is going to be the magic bullet. This is going to be the thing that's going to make me successful. And what happens is that we diffuse our energy. Focus is very important, and you could do multiple things at the same time. I'm not saying don't, but when you just are throwing things out to throw them out to see if it sticks, what sticks on the wall? I'll try this. And if it sticks, then I'm going to do that for a bit. I like to say what we call go for on the trees, go for the low hanging fruit. Instead of getting a ladder and climbing all the way up and getting up there and going, "Oh, there's no fruit up here." Go for the thing that's right there. The thing that you can talk about, do, that brings you passion and joy. It's easy for you. People can see you doing it and they go, "Oh, wow, she really loves doing this," right? Or he really loves doing this. Focus on those things and master them so that you're the best at that. When you focus on it and you're the best at it, then your expert authority rises and other people are going to notice you for that, right? Am I good at everything? No. Do I want to be good at everything? No. But what I am really good at, I'm damn good at it, right? And that's what you want to do. You want to focus on that. Don't waste time doing a whole bunch of things that you think you should be doing. If that makes sense, Jay?
Yeah, does make sense. Don't be master of all, right?
Yes.
Just focus on one.
Yes. Focus on one
So,
for now. That would be
mm,
great. Yes.
yeah, for now. So now to round off the show, all right. So let's talk about podcast guesting. So podcast guesting can actually be a way of getting out of imposter syndrome.
Mm.
Is that right? All right, can that be?
It's a great way as long as you don't enter it with that imposter syndrome. Because if you're suffering from low self-esteem or doubt, um, nobody's going to want you to be on their podcast, and you're not going to come across as somebody that, oh gosh, I can't wait to get this low self-esteem imposter syndrome person on my show. So, uh, so you need to create your brand, and
Mm.
again, remember how I said in the beginning, it's not about you. It's about the people you serve. So if you want to be a guest on podcasts, you need to convey to the host, yes, that you're an expert in this or that, or you've written a book or whatever. But the main message is you want to say, if you have me on your show as a guest, this is what your audience can receive. This is what your audience will get. They'll get inspired or motivated or informed or educated. This is about them, not you. If it's all about you, the host is going to go, no, 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 go away. It's about serving the audience. And when you approach it that way, then you'll get more spots. You'll get on the show. Your confidence goes up each time. You listen to the show, you share it with others. And if you are a guest on shows, on podcasts, please share it with your groups, your database, the people that have worked with you, so that they can also experience someone else who's an expert in their field, like Mr. J here.
You're the expert here. All right, good to have you on the show. So last but
Yes.
not the least, if you could share one key piece of advice with someone really struggling with imposter syndrome, what would it be?
Know that it's mostly in your head, it's not in reality. It's not real. And those stories that we're telling ourselves are exactly that. They're stories. If you need somebody to take a look at what you're doing or what you want to do from an outside perspective, I'd be happy to do that for you, to look in, and you can book a discovery call with me at my website. That's not a problem. I spend about a half an hour with people to look and see what they've been doing. They can also, if they're interested, they can take a quiz on my website, and that's expertauthorityquiz.com. Expertauthorityquiz.com allows them to ask themselves 10 questions. And those 10 questions are questions that you should be asking yourself if you're starting up any business, or if you already have an established business or you're an established coach. They're questions that you should be asking anyway. And I think they're extremely valuable because you'll start to realize maybe that you are more of an expert than you thought you were. But you need to talk to somebody that's a mentor or a coach who can bring out all of those amazing things that you've done. I think it's really important. You have passion for a reason, and there's something that's pulling you or drawing you to create your own business or to be a speaker or to be a writer, then don't let that go to waste. Explore it. But you have to take action. Jay knows this better than anybody. You have to take action. You can't just wish it.
Hey, winners, as we continue our journey together today, I want to share something truly special with you. Over the years, I've had the privilege of coaching countless business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, guiding them to achieve breakthrough results and unlocking their full potential. So I'm opening up just 4 slots for my monthly business coaching program. That's right, 4 slots. After being fully booked for the past 3 years, if you're ready to elevate your business with personalized guidance, proven strategy, and a supportive community, I'm here to help you navigate challenges, refine your vision, and achieve your goals. So if you're committed to taking your business to the next level, I want to hear from you. Reach out to me directly at jay@winnercirclewithj.com and discuss how we can work together to build the future your business deserves. So don't wait. This is your moment. Join Winner Circle and let's embark on this transformative journey towards success together. And now let's dive back into today's episode. You can't wish it. You have to take that action, and you have to take that step. It's very, very important. It's very, very
Yes.
important. So you need to go to the website, expertauthorityquiz.com, best can they reach out to you?
They can
I think I'm gonna put it. We're gonna put it in the
it's easy. It's super easy. It's my title. It's what I do. So you can just go to expertauthoritycoach.com. That's the gateway into my kingdom, and you have the ability to book a free call with me through that website. You can also see all of the things I offer. I have a mastermind, I have group coaching, I have single coaching, all of that great stuff. And also I have on there all of the podcast shows that I've been on, and so you'll also see a link to this show, to this episode of Jay's show. It'll be on my website as well. And that's expertauthoritycoach.com.
All right. Thank you so much, Christine. And thank you
Thank
for coming on
you.
the show.
Thank you, Jay.
What an incredible conversation with Christine. I hope you guys are feeling inspired. As I am, I'm feeling inspired myself, and I've learned quite a lot of things on this show about tackling the imposter syndrome. You know, it's very, very important for you to take it as a valuable information. But if you have the information and you are not taking that actionable step, then there's no point. Remember what we believe in Winner Circle. Make sure when you fail, make sure you fail forward. It's very, very important. It's completely normal to experience self-doubt. But with the right tool and the right mindset, you can rise above it and strive in your journey. So if you haven't already, be sure to check out Christine best-selling books. Make sure you get one, at least one. So I'm just being honest with you, because it's very, very important. You need to take that step. At the Winner Circle, we are all winners. We want to be winners. So
Yes.
I need you to take that actionable step. And also you can also check out our podcast. She has fantastic people on her show every now and then. So you can watch and listen and probably gather one or two information so that you can dive deeper into the world of authority building and personal empowerment. She has a very great show. So try as much as possible. Check her out. And until next time, stay in the winner circle. And remember one thing, fail forward. Don't fail backward. We're not going back this year, 2025. So see you until the next show. And hopefully I'm going to be able to bring Christine back so we can talk about how entrepreneurs can avoid burnout. Till next time. Have a nice day, guys.
Absolutely.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.